Hey guys, Steve Welch here, standing in front of a Tacoma, late model, current body Tacoma here. And most people know this, but your Toyota is actually packed with a lot of safety. One of the things Toyota is known for is safety and reliability, of course. But here's something that a lot of people don't realize is that some of the safety systems can actually be turned off. And in certain situations, you might actually want to turn them off. So today I'm going to show you 10 Toyota safety features that you can disable when it makes sense, and why Toyota designed them that way. Follow me. So one of the things that you're going to notice is actually, it could be in different spots, but it's right here on this Tacoma. It's actually your traction control. So if you have the vehicle started, I'm going to hop in here real quick, but if we have the vehicle started and you were to turn this off right here, I'm going to hit this button, you'll actually get traction control turned off. So, well, why would you want to turn off traction control? Well, traction control is a really good thing on pavement. It's a really good thing when you're driving down the road and you hit some water, you hit a slick spot for whatever reason. It's a really good thing for that. But off-roading, maybe there's times that you actually don't want the truck helping you as much with your traction. You kind of want to let some things maybe spin a little bit, maybe slip a little bit, just to kind of get you where you're going. That's where it comes into being a really good driver. If you're a good driver off-road, you kind of know what you're talking about. But that's where the traction control is. So the second thing actually has to do with pretty much the same thing as the traction control. It's the vehicle stability control. Well, it's commonly called VSC, right? It's vehicle stability control. Well, how do you shut off the vehicle stability control? Well, it's actually kind of the same way. So you can see I actually have your traction control shut off. But if you come back over here and you take the same button and you press and you hold that button, what you'll notice is now traction control continues to be turned off, but I got my pre-collisions off, traction controls off. It's done a few more things. It's actually shut off as well your vehicle stability control system. So you've shut all of that off with that. So why do you want to do that? Same thing. If you're off-road, you don't want the vehicle trying to stabilize itself. You kind of want to be able to be the one in control. So the good news is that yes, it's a safety system. Yes, you can put yourself in control in a off-road or maybe a situation that's not a normal situation. But here's the fun part too. As soon as you shut off the vehicle and turn the vehicle back on, what you'll notice is that all of those little things will go off. So, and it does not show that you have your traction control off, because most of these systems will divert back to the safest position, meaning the position where traction control's on, stability control's on. Most of them will revert back to the on position as soon as you shut the vehicle off and turn it back on. So if you want it to stay off, you got to do it again, but there's a reason that they divert to the safest position. So number three is actually pretty easy as well. So if you kind of look over here, you'll see some type of a indicator of a car going through lanes. Well, if you hit that button, you see how these lanes just turned off over here, turn them back on. So what that is your lane departure system. All right, the lane departure system happens if you are in a driving down, you got the lines on either side, and you were to cross those lines, it'll flash one of these sides. It'll give you a little beep, 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 and it will slightly bump your steering wheel to put you back to the way that you need to go to be back in the line. And that's, you know, pretty cool, right? There's also a system, which is the next system on here, number 4, is actually lane tracing. So what lane tracing does is while you're in dynamic radar cruise control, and I'm going to talk to you about that here in the next one, but while in dynamic radar cruise control, you actually have the ability that this can become lane tracing, where it will help you to stay within your lane. What's good about that is that you have the ability to adjust that, right? So if you go up or down on this one, then you can actually, you'll get this little thing will pop up down here. Press and hold this OK button. Once you press and hold the OK button, you'll see there's a few different things down here. I'm going to go down to where it says settings, which is right there. Lane departure is the very first one. I'm going to press and hold OK there, and you'll see now I've got options here, so I can turn it on, right? Turn it off. I can change it to where it'll either vibrate the steering wheel or it'll give me an alert tone, whichever one. And then I can actually adjust the alert timing, right? So if I want to adjust anything like that, I can definitely do that. So anything that you want to do, you can do pretty much from there. Just a really, really cool thing to know that you can actually adjust some of this stuff. So something else that Toyota has here, and the next one on my list, is proactive driving assist. What's proactive driving assist? Well, proactive driving assist is kind of like an assistant in the car, really. It's gonna, see some things. It's gonna try to assume a few things about how you're driving. There are some people that don't like that. So you got this little icon that's right. You got this little icon that's right here, and what that icon is, that's proactive driving assist. Well, if you don't want that on, it's pretty easy. You're doing the exact same thing you did a second ago. Going to select in your settings, right? You come down to proactive driving assist, hit the OK button. You can shut that off. Now it's going to drive regular again. But proactive driving assist, I got a video about that. It goes really in depth into what it is. But you can press and hold on proactive driving assist, and you can change different things about it. So the sensitivity, a road. So basically, there's objects. It can help you. It can help with the driver assist. It can help with your acceleration assist as well. And then you can change the sensitivity on it. But once again, it's a safety feature. So it's a safety feature that you have the ability that you can shut off, but you want to watch the video that I did. It's a longer video, but if you want to know exactly what the proactive driving assist is, watch the video. I'll link it at the end so you guys can take a peek at it. So what's the next one? Pre-collision system. So what's a pre-collision system? Well, it does exactly what you think it would do. It stops you before you collide with somebody. So it uses this camera that's actually up in the back, in that window right there. You can see that little camera that's right there. It uses that camera. It also uses a millimeter wave radar, which is actually down here on the trucks. Some of the cars will have them actually behind the emblem. Well, what that is it watches for a wreck to be imminent. So basically, if you're aiming at a vehicle and that vehicle was to slam on their brakes, it sees the wreck's imminent, you're gonna get a red light on your dash. It's gonna go beep, 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 and it's gonna slam on those brakes for you and try to help you avoid a wreck. Does it work? Yes, it does. I know, because we've used it in my family and it has saved us. So it does work. So there are some people that are out there that will say, I don't like the fact that it can do that and I want to shut that off. So Toyota, like with most safety sense, or actually with all safety sense, they give you the ability to shut it off if you want to. How do you do it? I'll show you. So in safety sense, we're going to come back over here. We're going to come back into the same settings menu that I already talked to you. I'm not going to tell you how to get back there. Go back to the beginning of the video if you want to. But you see, we're going down to PCS. Stands for pre-collision system. Press and hold OK. And you can do warning timing, right? So you can change the timing on it. A lot of people leave it in the middle, but you can change that. Or you can shut the system off. It's going to make sure that you're sure. It's going to shut it off, right? So it's going to give you this message that the pre-collision system shut off, and it's going to give you this icon. Once again, if you shut the vehicle off and you turn the vehicle back on, guess what? It's going to go back to the safest version, which is on. So it doesn't really matter if I turn this back on or not. As soon as I shut this vehicle off, it's going to go back into the safest mode so that whoever drives the car will have the pre-collision system on. Now, some features will stay off. The proactive driving assist will stay off, but most of your features will go back on. So something else in another part of safety sense is your automatic high beams. So automatic high beams, they give you this little button over here, right? Hit that little button and you're going to enable your auto high beams. How do you tell if they're on? Well, I always tell people turn this all the way on, and if you get this little green light right there and it shows that you're on your auto high beams, then you're on. You can push your little lever forward and you go, well, that's just a regular high beam light. You've overrode the auto high beams to turn it on yourself. Or if you want to, come back down here, make sure that button's off, and now you'll see that just your headlights are on, which that indicator was on before, but it didn't have that little A, which is that little auto thing. Shut that back off. And then guess what? You can just use this, just turn that on or turn that off, just like regular high beams, just like you have been. But turn it into auto, and leave this on, and they're going to do the high beams on and off for you. And then another little kicker for that, say that we're this bright but it started to rain and you turned your windshield wipers on. If your windshield wipers run, it's going to turn your headlights on if you have it set this way. If you just have it set to auto headlights, it'll do that. So a little extra for you for watching the video that you might not have known. So number 7, it's the blind spot monitor. Cool, blind spot monitor is pretty sweet, right? So the blind spot monitor has 2 things that you can do. You can either shut it off, or you can make it brighter, or you can make it dimmer. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So once again, we're in the settings. I'm not going to show you how to get there. It's going to take too long if I keep showing you how to get there. But to the next level down, we got blind spot monitor. Pretty easy. Boom. Hit your OK button, and you'll shut it off. It'll say blind spot monitor is off, right? When blind spot monitor is off, it might, you know, give you some fun stuff, of course. But you're going to notice little things right here. So you'll get little icons that show you that you're not using all your safety equipment, right? So we're going to come back over here, and I'm going to turn the blind spot monitor back on. You see that it turned that back off, and when I do that, I'll turn it off and then turn it on again. When I turn it back on, I'll click it on right now. You'll see that it turned on the blind spot monitor in the mirror there. So something else that you can do is if you come in here and you hold OK, this is the second level of this, you can change the timing and you can change the brightness. So if you're actually hit this button, you can see how I can change a couple different levels of brightness with the sun there. You might not see it real well. I'll show you over here. So you can see I'm dimming it, brightening it. So you actually have the ability to adjust it to what you want. So you can make it brighter, you make it come on earlier. So why would you shut off a blind spot monitor? Well, blind spot monitor, sometimes people have issues where if you're towing something like that, maybe a blind spot monitor comes on. The good thing about Toyotas is that in most cases, the blind spot monitor actually is kind of cool because it can sense that you're towing something and it can adjust itself. It can sense the length of the trailer and it can go, oh, blind spot monitor should turn on 20 feet further back. Why? Because you're hauling a trailer that's 20 feet long. So it can actually sense that there's a trailer behind you and it can adjust itself. So realistically, there's less reasons to turn off a blind spot monitor. It's just less reasons to turn off a blind spot monitor in a Toyota. So Toyota's kind of figured it out, but like I said, in the case where you might want to, there you go. So something else that's part of that system, but kind of different, right, is rear cross traffic alert. And if you look on the same menu, just a little further down, we've got rear cross traffic alert. So you can actually turn that on or turn that off, right? It'll tell you that it's off. It'll tell you that it's back on when you turn it back on. So what's rear cross traffic alert? Well, if a vehicle, a person, somebody like that is coming behind you, it will give you a beep, 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 and it'll flash your blind spot monitors. Why would you want it off? Well, sometimes people get irritated if you back up in like angled parking or something like that. Sometimes it can see a vehicle, it's not quite there. So, I mean, it's not a perfect system, but the time that it beeps when somebody's coming behind you, it's worth leaving on, let's just say. So another reason that you might want to shut off a safety system is that if you look down here, you'll see you've got these little bubbles here, these little sensors. They're little sonar sensors that go out. There's usually 4 of them on the front and on the back. Well, as part of most of your Toyotas, it has a system that's called intelligent clearance sonar. What's intelligent clearance sonar? And sometimes it says with brake assist. Well, brake assist kind of makes sense, but all right, tell me, right? So intelligent clearance sonar is looking. So if you were to get close to this car, so let's say you're driving ahead in this car here, and you're gonna hear these beeps that'll start to beep. As you get close to something, it's going to hit the brakes. Well, that's a really good thing, right? Because you don't want to hurt this brand new Grand Highlander here, right? Well, why would you want to shut it off? Well, if you had, and you can see this Grand Highlander has it here, so say you have a hitch back here and you put a boat behind you, or you're trying to back up to a trailer, or you're going through a car wash like this one, you're never going to get through that car wash with that intelligent clearance sonar activated, because it's going to see something in front of the vehicle. So even if it's just sitting like this one and you're trying to pull in to where it can get started, it's going to start hitting the brakes because it thinks that you're about to hit something. You're just trying to, right? So how do you shut it off? Well, in most cases, you're going to actually notice a button that looks just like this. right? And sometimes you'll have to actually get into the center screen like what I've been showing you on the Tacoma, and you'll have to get into the center screen and you can actually shut it off on there. It'll say PKSB, right? Park, brake, assist, right? PKSB, and you'll see a little icon that looks oddly similar to that in that thing, and you can turn that on or off in that main menu that I showed you. But I wanted to show you another way just in case. Go to that main menu if you're in one of those, or look for that button on a Tundra, Sequoia. You're gonna get one of those. The last thing I wanted to show you is dynamic radar cruise control. That is something that people actually tend to like, but there are still some people that have been around for a while that don't. Well, what's the difference? Well, dynamic radar cruise control, you get this little icon here and you get this little icon here. Now, some Toyotas, you still have to arm them, which you hit that button right there and it gives you that little symbol that's right there. And it gives you that little symbol that's right there. So other ones, you'll hit this button, and if you're not in drive, it'll say you're not in drive, can't set it. So it's one button in some that you just hit it and it actually sets the speed and everything. But you still have this little button right here, which changes how far. Some have 4 bars, some have 3. Each one is a generalized amount of, you know, let's call it a few different car distances. You know, that I always like to say that the 3 is probably about 6 car lengths. That's probably about 4.5. That's probably about 3. You change it a little bit with the 4s, but you kind of get the idea, right? Well, what if you go, I like cruise control, which obviously if you don't like cruise control, you shut off and you drive it normal. But you're going, I like cruise control, but I don't want it to slow down on purpose. Well, that's easy. When you turn this on, so when it's off, you hit this button, just keep holding this button. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to keep holding it, and you see it says constant speed. So constant speed control, that's what you see there. So now I'm in the old cruise control. Now if I turn this off, turn it back on, I'm back in the radar cruise again, which is the dynamic. So now some of them have a button on the steering wheel that will actually change the modes for you. But this one is the press and hold, and that's how you'll change it. A lot of Toyotas are that way. So now back here in the Tacoma, you'll see that you have the same button for the cruise control. You got this up here, right? And you're gonna say cruise control unavailable, shift into D. This is the one button set that I just talked about. So hit that button. So you're driving down the road, you're going 60, boom, one button, it's gonna set it at 60, turn it on, do all that for you. But what if you don't want to do the dynamic cruise control in this, which you see how you can change your levels right there, and it's changing on the left side for your cruise control mode. What if you don't want to do it? Well, you got this little button that says mode. Hit mode, and you're gonna say adaptive or cruise control. So you just hit it or hit it, right? So, and then you'll see that when you go into the regular cruise control mode, it's gonna come back out, right? And if you were to set it, you see push to activate the support system, right? And then once you'd hit it, you'd be in regular cruise control as opposed to the dynamic. So there you go. There's 10 things that are safety related that you should shut off, and realistically, hopefully I gave you some reasons why you would shut them off, and probably more reasons why you wouldn't. But hey, Steve Welch here, hoping that I gave you guys some more information that you didn't know otherwise, and showed you on a couple different vehicles here so that you could actually kind of get the idea of what you're looking for. So hopefully that helped you guys out. You can help me out by liking the video. I sure do appreciate that. It helps the channel a lot, and look forward to making you guys the next one. But Steve Welch here, beautiful Nashville. You guys have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.